What's going on, guys? My name is Mr. Hurricane, and I would like to finally welcome you to the St. Louis Rams connected franchise on Madden 25. You guys have been waiting, and it's here. Welcome, as Tim Kaine Sr. is the brand new owner of the St. Louis Rams, taking over Stan Kroenk's place. It's time to help the Rams rebuild in the competitive NFC West and go back to the top of the NFC Conference. It's been a while since the days of the greatest show on turf and the last Rams playoff appearance in 2004, but I'm looking to change that all in this series. And here are the building blocks in place to get me started. The defense is definitely the strength of the St. Louis Rams team, with Janoris Jenkins and Cortland Finnegan in the secondary, a front four comprised of Chris Long, Robert Quinn, and Michael Brockers, and James Laurinaitis in the middle as the captain of that defense. That is what we were building around, as well as an offense with some young talent and question marks. Well, let's take a look at some free agent moves I made prior to the preseason to get some extra competition at certain positions, including quarterback from University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, Matt Blanchard, safety Tyler Sash, cornerback Ekwazi Owusu-Ansah, and linebacker Julian Stanford. And now, we're going to get into the highlights of all 4 preseason games as I continue to introduce you to this St. Louis Rams team. Sam Bradford at quarterback. People have already been asking me, what is going to be Sam Bradford's status on this team? Guys, let's let him play first. But first off, Chris Long and this defense are going to be fun to watch. Getting after Brandon Weeden early as Chris Long beats Mitchell Schwartz and forces a fumble. Now, we know the defense has some promising young players, but the offense is a big question mark. How will Sam Bradford play in his 4th season, and how will the receiving core fill out with Chris Givens being probably the top man in his 2nd year out of Wake Forest? How about second to last overall draft pick in 2012, Daryl Richardson, as he runs in this touchdown? But running back is a big question mark now that Steven Jackson has left to Atlanta. Defense continues to be impressive with Trumaine Johnson, 2nd-year man out of Montana, makes a falling interception. Excellent play. Rams get the football back. This is our chance now to see some of the backups, including quarterback Kellen Clemens as he hooks up with Austin Pettis, and he may be the number 2 receiver out of the gate as he streaks past the Browns secondary all the way to the 17-yard line. Isaiah Peed, one of the guys in the mix at running back, didn't have a great rookie year, but projects as a 3rd down back and someone who has to contribute in a running game full of question marks. Here you see on the field 2 West Virginia rookie receivers, Tavon Austin and Stedman Bailey, as Kellen Clemens goes long and he hooks up with the rookie, number 8 overall draft pick, Tavon Austin. Welcome to St. Louis. We hope to see a lot of that this year. There's many ways we can use him on offense and special teams to contribute, and he's very exciting. But one guy who really stood out, halfback Zach Stacy, a rookie 5th round pick out of Vanderbilt. If Daryl Richardson can't do much early, Zach Stacy could have the opening and take over a large portion of the running game, whether that be a 3-down back or just a majority of the carries on offense. The defense, though, continued to play well into Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers back to throw. He sends his receivers long, and Aaron Rodgers goes down. It's Robert Quinn this time off the left-end side. Sam Bradford to work on 2nd down and long as he's got to get acquainted with his new tight end, Jared Cook, signed in the offseason for a big contract from Tennessee. The Rams needed some bolstering to this receiving core, and they sure tried to get it. And Rodgers continues to be bullied in the backfield with Chris Long forcing a fumble. Ball is recovered by Michael Brockers. Sam Bradford under center on 2nd down and 1 as Daryl Richardson takes the carry, and he is hit and loses the football. Something you don't want to see from a guy who you're uncertain about and is currently your starting halfback. Sam Bradford back to work here in the 1st quarter as he dumps it off to Tavon Austin. Underneath, yards after the catch will be his game. Working out of the slot, a lot near the line of scrimmage. Many things I want to do to get him the football. Kellen Clemens in the game later as he goes over the middle, and Stedman Bailey under the radar. He was definitely overshadowed by Tavon Austin, but he's very talented. Was a great player at West Virginia, one of Geno Smith's favorite targets, and he shows off his spectacular catchability on this play. Let's jump forward to one guy assigned to hopefully have a chance at making this team and compete for a roster spot. Ekwazi Owusu-Ansah as he breaks to the outside, great blocking, and Ansah is going to go all the way for a kickoff return for a touchdown to open up the 3rd quarter. Green Bay's backup offensive players in the game is Scott Tolzien gives to DeJuan Harris, and safety Rodney McLeod with the hit fumble on the play. It's picked up by Trumaine Johnson. He'll go in for a scoop and score touchdown. 2 quick scores out of the gate in the third quarter. Backup's doing a great job. Let's jump to Kellen Clemens again in the third quarter. 2nd down and 10. Austin Pettis over the middle. I had some concerns about him. Wasn't sure if he was able to take over that number 2 spot and if I trusted him enough. There's also 2nd-year man Brian Quick, whom we haven't seen yet in the preseason highlights, as Zach Stacy continues to run the ball effectively as the 2nd stringers are in the game. Kellen Clemens dumps it off to Zach Stacy, shows off a little bit of power here as he runs through Jarrett Bush for a 1st down. It wasn't a very good day for Scott Tolzien as this defensive secondary gave him fits and he lobs it outside, and Trumaine Johnson making some plays in preseason, making a case to be the nickel back, and he get a lot of playing time this year as he intercepts the pass and goes in for his 2nd touchdown on the day. 2 interceptions in the preseason so far, 2 touchdowns in this game. Trumaine Johnson was off to a great start. But now we had Peyton Manning in the Denver Broncos, but we still wanted to get after Peyton. Chris Long, he ain't done in the preseason yet. Let's go to the offense. Sam Bradford under center. He's going to throw to the outside and wide open. Running free is Tavon Austin. Shows off the elusiveness. A stutter step and a spin move, 27 yards. And despite his abilities, I still want to be careful with him and use him in the right situations because he's 5'8", 176. He's not meant to be a physical outside threat. He's supposed to make you miss, not run through you. 1st down and 10. Kellen Clemens to the outside and Brian Quick. We haven't seen him yet. He's a 2nd-year man, the 1st pick in the 2nd round out of Appalachian State, a wide receiver who was underwhelming in his rookie year, but has the physical tools to be a number 1 receiver. He didn't get a ton of playing time in the first 2 preseason games, but I made sure he had the opportunity to shine in the last 2. Matt Blanchard in the game as he goes short to Austin Pettis, who continues to shine throughout the preseason, making the screen go for a 1st down. This time out of the shotgun, another short pass designed to go to Austin Pettis, who breaks to the outside, a 1st down and more, and Austin Pettis goes out of bounds. He's looked pretty good, I have to say. Matt Blanchard now at the goal line. He fakes the handoff, does not force a pass as he rolls out, and the ex-Warhawk from Whitewater goes in. Matt Blanchard for a rushing touchdown. And now our final chance to see the starters before the regular season as Sam Bradford hooks up with 2nd-year man Brian Quick underneath, running across for a gain of 13. And now at the 20-yard line, Sam Bradford drops back. He's going to the end zone, and Chris Gibbons makes the catch over the shoulder. That's the way the starters go out in the preseason. Great throw by Sam Bradford. Let's go, St. Louis. And one guy I had to show at least once, Greg the Leg, the 2nd-year kicker, Greg Zuerlein from 55 yards out. The dude's leg is just so damn strong. And here is one thing I know people wanted to see. How will Tavon Austin contribute on special teams? Let's see what he can do on a broken play that you should never have to begin with as he weaves his way using his speed. Tavon Austin, only certain players can make this play happen, and Tavon Austin is one of them. That's a little bit of the elusiveness and speed. That's a little appetizer of Tavon Austin for the regular season. Let's go back to the pass game with Austin Pettis catching everything in his direction. He was the guy who impressed me the most on offense in the preseason, and Zach Stacy was impressive as well, but you have to hold on to the football, especially when you're trying to become the starter, Zach Stacy. Let's go back to defense. B.J. Coleman, he's going to throw it deep down the left side, and it's intercepted by Ikwazi Owusu-Ansah. He was one of the free agents I gave a chance, and he was certainly making the most of it. Kellen Clemens back to work through the air, and guess who's back? Austin Pettis over the middle. He was so reliable, and I gave him a lot of snaps in the 2nd stringers because I wanted to see what he could do, and then Zach Stacy finishes this drive into the end zone for a rushing touchdown. The preseason is winding down. Matt Blanchard in at quarterback, the 3rd stringer, as he pump fakes and now goes to Brian Quick, who hangs on and puts this inside the 15-yard line. Brian Quick for a gain of 33 yards, over 100 yards in the preseason finale. That's something that definitely made me happy to see. But one more play, and Ikwazi Owusu-Ansah, he has officially made the roster. 2 interceptions in this game, a kick return for a touchdown. Ikwazi made the team. And Matt Blanchard takes a knee, and that ends the St. Louis Rams preseason. The preseason is over, and it's time to move on to the regular season, but first we have to go to cut day and make the final cuts. 6 players will be cut from the St. Louis Rams, and I was happy carrying 3 running backs, Daryl Richardson, Isaiah Peed, and preseason standout Zach Stacy. Chase Reynolds and Benny Cunningham were the first 2 players cut, and that means 4 to go. At cornerback, Akwasi Owusu-Ansah was a playmaker in the secondary as well as on special teams, and that means Quentin Pointer is the odd man out, being the 6th cornerback on the depth chart. Next up, I cut Tyler Sash, a safety who didn't really do much in the preseason, and I liked a little bit of what I saw from Ronnie McLeod. Next up at tight end, Jake McQuaid was let go. We're going to go with 3 tight ends. And the final cut, 3rd center, Tim Barnes. We're going with the veteran Scott Wells at starter and the rookie Barrett Jones as the backup center. And that brings us to the 53-man roster. We were able to sneak out of the preseason with only 1 injury lingering until the regular season, and that is backup middle linebacker Jonathan Stewart. So now you should have a good grasp of this 53-man roster and who this team is comprised of. But now we're going to take a look at the depth chart for the St. Louis Rams and see who will be starting in Week 1 against the Arizona Cardinals. No surprise at quarterback, Sam Bradford being backed up by Kellen Clemens and Matt Blanchard. Daryl Richardson, the #1 halfback for now, backed up by Isaiah Pete, the 3rd down back, and Zach Stacy. At receiver, Chris Gibbons and Austin Pettis on the outside, Tavon Austin in the slot, and Brian Quick and Stedman Bailey as the depth receivers at 4 and 5. But that's still a wide open competition there as well to see who can get some more playing time. At tight end, welcome Jared Cook to the St. Louis Rams. Hopefully he'll play a big part in the passing game. And also welcome to free agent acquisition Jake Long at left tackle, as he and Roger Saffold will be asked to protect Sam Bradford with those pass rushers coming off the edge. On defense, Chris Long is our best pass rusher, the $60 million left end. Opposite him, Robert Quinn, the young defensive end who recorded 10.5 sacks last year, now enters his 3rd season. On the interior, it's Kendall Langford and Michael Brockers, the 2nd-year player out of LSU. And I didn't talk about a lot of these rookies that are starting for us as well, but Alec Ogletree, 1st-round draft pick, he'll play alongside James Laurinaitis in the linebacker core, along with Will Witherspoon. Ogletree has a chance to help take this front 7 to the next level. And now the defensive secondary. Cortland Finnegan and Janoris Jenkins on the outside, Tremaine Johnson is the nickel corner, Brandon McGee is the dime back, and Akwasi Owusu-Ansah. And then TJ McDonald, the rookie out of USC, is starting at free safety along Darian Stewart at strong safety. Here is the St. Louis Rams schedule as we open up the season in Week 1 at home against the Arizona Cardinals, and of course this AFC West has become a very tough division. The Rams have to deal with the tough defenses in San Francisco, Seattle, and Arizona, and also play all 4 teams in the NFC South to get their heavy dose of offense against them. But now let's shift our focus to Week 1 and preparing for the Arizona Cardinals in the 2013 NFL season opener. And we do get the luxury of opening the regular season at home. And here, I know you guys want to see some of this. You want to get the rookie Tavon Austin jersey? It's going to cost a little bit more than Sam Bradford or James Laurinaitis, but look at our marketing department try to capitalize on the preseason success of Akwasi Owusu-Ansah. And now, some very important business before this Week 1 game. People are freaking out over the cost of potato chips and fries. Everyone needs to settle down. We have the cheapest Pepsi in the league at only $3 per cup. And you can see in the last preseason game, we only made $38.9 thousand off concessions. How am I going to afford a possible new stadium at some time if I have to sell fries for $3? But we'll worry about that later. Week 1 against the Arizona Cardinals will be the first real episode in this series, guys, when the Rams take the field for the first time in the Rams Connected franchise here on Madden 25. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you are new to my channel, and leave a like if you're excited for the Rams Connected franchise. I know you guys have been waiting. Hopefully it's been worth your wait. And I'll see you guys in Week 1. Have a great day.